just what is going on with Millwall this season. Attacking-wise, great. Scoring to lots of goals. Defensively, an absolute shambles. Here to review it all is Callum. Welcome to Where Lions Walk.
No one likes us! No one likes us! No one likes us! We don't care! We are Millwall! Super Millwall! We are Millwall from the dead!
Hey, welcome back, Callum. I appreciate you doing this all the way back from Bristol in time to talk to us this week, and we're going to go straight into it, Callum. Let's start with the positives. Let's go positively. Attacking wise, if you realise that the game starts at 0 minutes and not 45, you'll be alright this season, wouldn't you? What's impressed you from the attacking point of view?
Well, it's just been a mixed week this week. I'm sure all Millwall fans would agree it's been a mixed week. I think Tuesday night when we played Portsmouth, great result. Played very well. I thought in large parts of the game. Pompey had a few chances. Obviously, Romainese scored a really good goal. Defensively, we were solid. So, yeah, that was a great result for us to get into the second round of the Cup. And then, obviously, on yesterday, I really don't know. Obviously, just very topsy-turvy game. Defensively, very poor at some points, but I think the goals that we scored were brilliant. It's just defensively, we was all over the place, to be honest with you. That's how I can put it, really, to be honest.
It's almost a carbon copy, wasn't it, of the Watford game in some respects. You don't seem to have the knack of being able to defend crosses. Let's talk about that for a start, because I've seen some of the Bristol City goal, the second Bristol City goal. I don't know what the centre backs are doing. You've got the strikers sat right between them. The ball comes over. No one moves towards the ball. No one moves towards the defender. They both stood there watching it. When you watch that from the stands, what are you doing? You're just shaking your head? Is it anger? Is it just disbelief of here we go again?
I'd probably put it down to shocked, really. I think, I just think it's a lack of communication in that back line for starters. I would say that. Obviously, looking back at the highlights this morning, obviously, for the first goal, you had Ryan Leonard, who was obviously our player of the season last season. Just a mistake went for his legs, and obviously Mehmeti scored. I think by all goals, I think there was just a miscommunication. I think Hutchinson didn't have a very good game yesterday. I think he was quite off it, if I would say the least. I just think some of the goals, I think they just weren't. There wasn't that communication, if that makes sense. Like, they were just standing still. It was all static, which was quite surprising to see, because when you think of a Millwall team, you think, look, all like really defensive, solid at the back, no mistakes at all. And it was really surprising from my point of view watching it, was just how like static they were in the bottom. They weren't marking any players. They were just standing still and not marking runners into the box, which was very bizarre to me. And obviously, after the game, I think obviously looking back on Twitter on the way home, but in disbelief, really, I don't think you could really believe what happened during the game, because 2 games running, we've scored 5 goals in both games and we've conceded 7. So it's very, very frustrating and bizarre, really, I think. I can't remember the time where we've scored 5 goals from open play and we've conceded 7 in 2 games. It's just really bizarre to me, to be honest.
Yeah, it's very un-Millwall-like. Have a look at some of these comments that were made on social media. You've just highlighted the second one there. 7 goals conceded in 2 games is all we is all we need to know. The first one, and this was alongside a couple of others saying about Harris, he lost us the game and that's the end of it. There was no need to switch to a back five and drop off opposing players. It was the same last time under him, and here it is again. What's your view on that? That the changes made by the manager cost you the game? We'll come back to Hutchinson in a second.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about this last week, and obviously I mentioned about in the Watford game, I didn't really like Harris's game management. I think I put it down to obviously having a week to think about it. I think if you look at our bench, yesterday, sorry, Wes Harding, and we had a few young on the bench. And I think, to be honest, if my opinion, I think it's probably telling in the fact that he wants players in the door. Now, obviously, you're looking at Bristol City's bench yesterday, and they've got obviously Mayulu, who scored, Scott Twine, who's signed on Friday. They're a lot of money, and they've come on and scored. And Harris has probably looked at his bench and thought, I've got Alfie Massey, I've got Tom Leahy to bring on. You know, like they're not proven yet. They're youngsters. You can't really rely on youngsters. You brought a Maku on, and he didn't really do. He played well, but he didn't really do a lot. So I think you've got to put it down to the depth of our squad. It's not very. Our squad hasn't got the depth, unfortunately. So I think he hasn't got the players to count on off the bench, and obviously Bristol City brought on them two players, and they've both scored their last two goals. So that's what you got to put it down to. I get people's frustration. I think it's only 2 games in, so I think just needs to calm down. It's only 2 games in. I think Harris, we've got a week and a half left of the transfer window. I think we need to get players in quickly. But obviously we'll come to the end of the transfer window, see what happens. If we get any players in good, then we'll have to just wait and see to where we are.
Okay. I want to get your view on this. This one as well. It says Cooper and Hutchinson didn't stand a chance in this division. We need a new centre-back to play alongside Tanganga or we are toast. And the other one saying, hope that is Hutchinson's last game today. Was that harsh or completely accurate?
It's pretty. Yeah, it's harsh. I think Hutchinson's. I think, to be fair, I didn't say this last week, which I was going to say. I think our squad is quite old. I mean, when you look at our squad, I think it's an age of around 29.4. Something along the average of our squad is about 29.4. So when you look at it, the back line is quite old. Obviously, you've got Joe Bryan, Cooper, Hutchinson, and Leonard in the back four yesterday. It's quite old. Hutchinson, I mean, that first goal when Sinclair Armstrong ran straight past him, he was too quick for him. I get people's frustration. I think Harris has brought him in for that leader within the dressing room. I think that's what I believe he's bringing him in for. It's sort of like a few years ago when Gary Wright brought back in Alex Pearce for a year. It's kind of like keeping that leadership within the team to bring that squad together. But I think he's just been put in for these first 2 games, or 2 or 3 games, shall I say, just until Tanganga's back. But I do understand people's frustration. I just think that we possibly do need another centre back, but I would prefer to have more players up the top end of the pitch rather than at the back at this moment in time.
Yeah, that's clearly what's needed. I mean, we'll have a look at your centre backs because that's our focus for today, as last week's was goalkeepers. Obviously, you'd hope that Tanganga, obviously, when fully fit, is definitely first choice, isn't it? Who's the best partnership? Tanganga, would you say, of the other 3 that you have available?
Yeah, definitely Tanganga starts for me. He's our best centre back at the club at the moment. I'd keep Jake Cooper beside him. I think you go back to the back end of last season. The partnership that they had together was very good. Um, I think Tanganga and Cooper. I just think it gives that balance of a left-footed centre back and a right-footed centre back at the back, and then obviously you've got Joe Bryan left back and Brian Leonard right back, just to keep that balance in the back line.
Okay. All right then. Well, it's Hull City up next. You're off on your travels again up to the MKM. Let's have a chat to a Hull fan and let's see if this will be your first 3 points of the season, because they haven't started all that brightly either. Welcome, Jack, to Where Lions Walk. Thanks for joining us. You both played Bristol City. You managed to get a point off them, though, whereas Millwall didn't. Tell the Millwall fans that are watching this, Jack, just what sort of shape Hull are looking like at the moment. Are you any good?
Not really. We're a bit disjointed at the moment, lacking a few players. Too open at the back. We're quite good in transition, but that's leaving us too open. We're committing too many bodies forward, and then we're just all over the place at the back.
How do you think then you would shape up against Millwall? You obviously signed Hughes from Wigan. Obviously didn't get to, I don't think, play against Plymouth. But are you expecting some of the new boys to be in the squad for against Millwall, or even starting against Millwall?
Oh, I definitely think Finn Burns and Charlie Hughes need to start. We need a bit more experience and strength in the at the back. I don't think the attack's much of a problem, except from obviously our striker. But yeah, definitely need to see Finn Burns and Charlie Hughes start.
Okay. Callum, what needs to change for Millwall then against Hull in terms of starting 11?
Well, I'd like a clean sheet, but I don't know whether that's going to happen or not. I mean, obviously we've got Tanganga back on Saturday, which should be a boost. Hopefully it will be a low scoring. We've had a few high scoring games so far, so I'm expecting better defensively, and hopefully we can grab a few goals on the way as well.
Yeah, your football's what we got promised at the start of the season. Very attacking, scoring lots of goals, but again, open at the back.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get some score predictions then. Jack, you go first because you're at home.
2-1 to Millwall, unfortunately.
Okay. Callum?
Wow. Didn't expect that. I'm going to go 2-2.
Yeah, it'd be scrappy.
Yeah, Hull fans aren't happy, Jack, are they, at the moment with what they're seeing?
No,
there's only a wonder goal against Plymouth that kept you from losing that one.
Well, it's like we've had a penalty, we've had a defensive error from Sheffield Wednesday in the cup, and we've had a defender score all our goals. So that sums up really.
Okay, all right. Cheers, Jack. Coming
Thank
on
you.
then. We'll see you as the season progresses. And then finally, Callum, just in terms of finishing off, then the Premier League is back this season. If Millwall were promoted to the Premier League, which of the two teams would you like to go with, hypothetically?
Oh, good question. I would go with Sheffield United, and I'd like to see Coventry go up as well.
Okay, all right. And who's going to win the Prem, in your view?
Bit boring, but I'm going to go Manchester City. But I believe Arsenal will give them a close run.
Fair enough. You wouldn't mind it if Arsenal won the league then?
Well, I wouldn't mind it because City won it 4 times in a row. Okay, but I don't think I've got loads of Arsenal fans as mates, so I don't think they'll bang. I think they'll keep banging on about it, to be honest.
Okay. Oh yeah, true. Right, Callum. Cheers for joining us. We'll catch you next week after the Hull game. Nice one.